Yeah, Austin Reeves went for 25, if I'm not mistaken, and I think Luca had went for 35. But bro, this is exactly what we're talking about. And Mace made a great point, right? When he says the moment, I talk. I'm sharing just a couple things me and Mace shared over the weekend, right? And talked about over the weekend. And Mace was explaining to me, which I think he should do a segment one of these days when he gets time, how when he had an opportunity to get on as a rapper, it was right there. You had it was that. Or if he didn't make that moment, I don't know where none of me or him would be right now. it was it was literally a make it or break it moment. It was no backtracking. It was everything and nothing. Like right now. Right now in my life, I may be
Yeah.
sliding from underneath a car with a wrench, trying to fix the alternator. if, if he didn't have that moment. And he had to shine that moment. And listen, when he was telling me the story, I knew the story, but I didn't know the details. And he was telling me the details on how he met Jermaine. He went to go meet Jermaine Dupri, but ended up meeting Puff. You know, it's a lot of details, which is another story for another time, but it was a make it or break it moment. And he took the opportunity. You know, and when he told me the story, I just thought about one day, you know, Mace was on and he had an album out and everything else. And, you know, he came and picked me up and we riding around and he's like, wait, I see we going to Jersey. I'm like, where we going? He's like, I'm taking you to Big House right now. And I'm like, what? Right now. And Mace took me to Big House. I didn't know we was going. Because I was with Mace all the time. I didn't know he didn't tell me get ready. He didn't tell me it's tomorrow. He ain't tell me next Thursday. He said we're going right now to Big House. And he took me to Big House. I sat in the living room while I waited for him. I guess Big must have been in a car accident. Some shit, his leg was fucked up. And I went to his bedroom, pause. He's in the bed with two girls. And he also been making his album. He put on beats, and I rapped for 35 minutes straight. Every beat that came on,
Every beat.
every beat that came on, it didn't matter what it was. I rapped to it. And that's the opportunity that he had, and that's the opportunity he gave me. And you have to take advantage of those opportunities, man. I didn't ask, y'all don't like that kind of beat, man. Yo, that beat too fast, man. Yo, give me one of them slower joints. I like the you know how niggas be like that, like yo, I don't like that beat. Yo, I don't give a fuck what beat
Niggas,
came on.
niggas here be all braided talking about I don't rap like that.
I, I ain't give a fuck what beat came on. 35 minutes. It got to the point where he said, nah, you good. Let me call my man Un. You straight. I got more. Whatever we need to do, that's what we
Yeah.
did. And the Knicks don't do that. You have to do it when the opportunity presents itself, man. That's what
Yeah,
we
you
talking
gotta
about.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do it. And shout out, this is the day 29 years ago that Biggie lost his life. So shout out to the whole
Yeah.
Christopher Wallace
Yes,
Foundation.
yes. Thank you.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Mama Wallace.
Yeah.
All of the children, Tiana, Christopher, C's, everybody, D Rock, Money L, C Gutter,
Mm,
Banger, the whole
mm,
Junior Mafia, the
mm,
Snakes,
mm.
Trife, and
Yeah.
and can't forget the original Queen Bee. I grew up with
Mm,
the original Queen Bee. No
mm.
shade, but I grew up with the original Queen Bee. Put some respect on her name. I know
Yeah.
she different today, but put some respect on the Queen. Put respect on the Queen. We don't have anything without the Queen. We don't have no female rappers without the Queen. I don't care how nice you think you are. I got to put respect where it goes. This is March 9th. This is the day we only celebrate one Christopher, and that's
Mm.
Christopher Wallace, man.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta share more stories because I didn't even know that. That's not even like that's full on talent. Because to be able to do that,
Mm.
my
Yeah,
heart
Killer was
goes
going
out
crazy.
because
And
Yeah.
I couldn't, yeah, and I couldn't feel comfortable being with a New York nigga that ain't gonna go crazy
yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
Killer went crazy.
yeah,
Killer went crazy. I was sitting there like, nigga, I told you. I'm an
yeah,
expert.
No, that's
yeah,
dope.
Getting all the credit. I was getting
yeah.
the credit. I was getting
Yeah.
my credit there. I was like,
Not,
yo,
not, he,
big.
he
I
definitely
told you
took.
my man was crazy, bro.
Nah, that's a fact. Because I won't say the other guy's name that used to be with us. They used to rap, and I remember Big said, "Yo, what's up with so and so?" Because that nigga that Big said what's up, so he was nice too. When niggas
Yeah,
and Mace was like, "Nah, he good, but my man better than him." And I was like, "All right, let's
yeah,
go. It's showtime." And like I said,
yeah,
like listen, this story I'm telling you now is nothing compared to the story Mace had to do to get on. It's just a long. His story's a little longer and it needs to be heard out. But the way
yeah.
Mace had actually got his deal is nothing compared to what I just told. It was even crazier, even crazier. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Dang, that's dope. We'll get it out of you one day. We'll get there. And then, real quick, back to the Knicks, because I know, I mean, like you said, two white boys really just had them messed up, which that is exactly what happened. Mikal Bridges actually scored no points. And I know you were talking about avocado. You want to call him avocado? Is that a nickname? Is that no, he also didn't score any
Yeah,
points.
yeah.
But I
niggas
understand why
troll.
Knicks are excited for him, though. But I'm just saying, no points. Gotta
And
work.
Yeah,
niggas trolling sin. And then
yeah, I was trolling sin. I said, man, you were against James Harden and all those bigger guards. They gonna eat that little nigga up. Pause. He'll be avocado by the middle of the playoffs, and we
yeah,
just started laughing. So
yeah,
shout out to Alvarado. You know, in New York, they gonna give you a nickname you don't like
yeah,
until you prove otherwise.
yeah. This is true.
Okay, so another game from last night. Spurs beat the Rockets 145 to 120. That was a very good game. Mace, what do you think of this dominance from the Spurs? And then your other team's loss.
Well, it's a Texas thing, stat. Whether it's San Antonio, Houston, it's a Texas thing. It's I don't look at it the same. It's like losing to your little brother. It's like both of them are teams actually.
Yo,
But
this nigga's crazy, my
I
man.
mean, I'm being realistic. If you go and see the Harlem World album, since
Could you stop with the
we
same
yeah, yeah,
story?
oh,
God, my nigga, man.
Cam,
This nigga wild, man.
even if you look at my picture when it, I don't got time for this. I really don't.
Go ahead, Murder. I didn't mean
Was
to lie step, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, because 4 million people, 5 million people saw me with that Spurs hat on, Killer. I don't know why you
Oh,
acting like you didn't
that's
know
fair.
about it.
That's fair.
The Spurs, I had the Spurs hat on, Stat. If you go back and look at my first album, I got the Spurs hat on. I got on all black with the Spurs hat. Killer is new to the Spurs. We gonna
Crazy,
let him
man.
join the team, man. He likes his Spurs because he saw me in the Spurs hat. He never had a Spurs hat. Tell him to go back and look at any day before that date that he had a Spurs hat on. I know him. See, I knew he was going to go put a Spurs hat on. That's why I said that date. That date is October
You got
27th,
one now? Do you got one now, Murder?
1996.
Murder, do you have a Spurs right now?
Go hat for hat.
My shit
I'm not in
snake
a.
skin and all that, man. That shit was
Yeah,
Just
I
saying.
hate this nigga.
Shit got the leather strap and all that in the back, man. Come on, man. Go ahead,
That.
man. Girls is pimps too, but they reverse it and say, I need a sponsor.
Mm, that's pimping.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
That's
trafficking niggas out of state, all
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I need a
Hey, you want to
sponsor.
go on you want to go on a trip to Cancun? That's
Yeah.
trafficking. You
So,
gotta know the rules nowadays.
Child, it's a
You
crazy
put a
world.
nigga on a plane to San Juan and do a little Don Juan. You could be in an all out traffic. So you're right. Making niggas work and using their money for you, that's pimping.
It's a crazy world. Glad
So
I
that means there's more pimps than we know. There's pimps everywhere.
But again, the question is, can you do it on the side? We'll waiting for that answer. We will see what that answer is because I'm sure he's gonna be like, actually, give us the whole Spark Notes version.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so obviously, we saw how
No,
this
I
headline.
got the answer. I got the answer. You can.
Oh,
You must can. Because if I saw a girl do it on the side, she got a guy to buy her a car for like 500,000, and she just cheated on a nigga. So that got to be a P on the side.
but it's like, what was her other job though? Because going back and coaching them kids is crazy.
Oh, she was selling merch. I guess she was selling. You know how they do it,
I,
selling
I don't.
clothing on the side.
I don't. They
I'm
got
just
it.
giving voice to it to say that this is something to be aware of. Like we're joking, but it's real serious. The mental fiber of people out here in this world is very limited and very fragile. So it seemed like this would be a legal, not illegal, but a way that people would use to get paid off because people's mentality is really low these days. But move on, Stat. I'm just throwing that in there.
I'm slightly moving on. It's just a quick question regarding it before I
Yeah.
move on. Because I'm curious, because we saw how this headline kind of took over the entire school. When you guys were in school, and then the short period you were in college cam, and then college Mace for you too, did you guys ever have like a crazy school scandal, or do you feel like things were pretty smooth sailing?
I think our high school days were so explosive. College was easy. I don't know for Killer, but high school did it for us. You know what I'm saying? Our coach was literally dating girls in the school. It was like
This class is
we we dealt with crack cocaine. We dealt with every. It was just so much. It was so much in school that by the time we got to college, it was just like, nigga, this is easy.
Yeah, that nigga ain't lying, yo. Think about this, right? I got to this school. I didn't even go to the school as a freshman. I got there in 10th grade, and I had 5 coaches in 3 years. I had 5 coaches in 3 years at this school. We had 2 of our coaches on there earlier last
Yeah,
season. You know what I'm saying? Those were our first 2 coaches. Then after that, we got this nigga named Samore. He came from fucking South Dakota or some shit. He wanted us to wear suits to school, and yo, it was a mess. But he ended up getting into a fight with a student. So he
yeah,
got he got kicked out from coaching. Then, like I told you, like May said, when we heard one of the coaches was dating the students, yo, shit was a mess. Then, like I said, I didn't want to bring it up, but the shit that I just was talking about before Mace happened, people went to jail. Like,
yeah.
you know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, our
Yeah,
team alone was like a Rico. Yeah. It was like, yeah, this can't be high school. This is crazy.
so,
Yeah.
so yeah, some of the stuff we don't want to get in too deep, but I have to agree with Mace that yeah, high school was some scandals. What scandals is
Who was
not
your
even a
other
word
two
for.
coach? I know your other one coach, but who was the fifth coach?
So you had Ford, you had Gladden,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
you got
Glenn. Yeah.
Gladden, yeah. You had Coach Rich, Coach Ford, Coach Gladden, D. Graham once in a while, some more.
We
And
had
then
six then. That was six. Six coaches in 3 years
yeah,
is
yeah,
crazy.
and then Coach Jackson. Remember Jackson, my
Yeah.
senior? Yeah. Shit was crazy, man.
So
Fucking
I had
6 coach.
five coaches in
Yeah,
3 years. He had six.
sick. Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. You can't get no
Yeah.
momentum like that.
At all. And y'all ain't ever had no high school reunion or nothing. Y'all just said we good.
Nigga. Yeah.
Like, like what happened? Like I'm serious.
Yo,
Like
we had We had a high school reunion and Killer ain't show up. Me and Killer didn't show up because you just didn't know who was gonna be there.
You know what it is, Stat? See, getting to travel, right? And later on for me to New York, catch on to a lot of things later. And not saying catch on, I just think that New York think that we are too cool for a lot of shit. To me,
Mm.
I don't remember no prom. I don't know if Mace went to a prom. Like, I don't remember the shit. I don't even know where prom was held at. Like,
Yeah, I ain't
you
think
know,
about that, Killer. You did not go to prom.
yeah, I'm like, where was prom at? First of all, you older than me, so your prom was before mine. But I'm like, where was the prom at? I didn't. Where was the prom at?
I didn't go.
That's what I'm saying. See, this is what I'm talking about. Niggas ain't even know. Fuck the prom. Fuck
Niggas had
everything.
dates. We had dates. We
Yeah,
just
yeah. Oh,
didn't
that
go.
was yeah. Like
If you
what
went
the
to a prom, it's like a chick. If you really cool, it's like you gotta beg me to go to prom. Like I'm not a prom guy. Like if you,
yeah,
I went to prom, actually, I gotta find you. You had the picture, Killer. That was me at the prom with Diane. That was at
yeah.
another school.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember that. That's why I asked you because I remember y'all two going to a prom.
Yeah, you couldn't go back in the days that you couldn't go to a prom because that mean you was with her. We couldn't give nobody that. Like, yo,
Straight.
I dressed up for her. No, couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's a fact,
You
man.
gotta
I
go
ain't
to
gonna lie.
other school proms. So people be like, yo, that's the kid from Man Center.
Yeah,
I don't ever remember Cam going to the prom. Ever.
because I never went. I didn't even know
Yeah, I
where the shit
popped
was
out
at.
one time and I ain't like it.
Why didn't you
Yeah,
like it?
It was too
yo,
romantic.
my other headphone.
It was
I
too
can
Yeah,
see
it
that.
romantic.
might be on the
I,
charger.
I, I was too young to be that romantic. You know, they want you
You couldn't be romantic in that era.
yeah, to
What?
bring flowers and all of that.
Yo,
I had the
stat.
I had the rose in my back pocket.
So was it not cool? Wait. So was it not cool to just go by yourself? Like if you didn't
Yeah,
want to be romantic?
yeah. We were part of a tough era. You couldn't have them roses in your arm like that. I had the rose in my back pocket. She said, "You ain't got a rose?" I'm like, "Yo, I think I got one." You know,
What?
yeah. You couldn't have the whole bouquet and all that, and be out there with the limousine and all that. We grew up in the wrong times. That it was the wrong
And
era.
y'all couldn't just go by yourself. Like just go just because you wanted to look fly. Like that wasn't a thing.
No, you would fly all year. Why would you wait to prom to be fly? That
Yeah.
was a country move to wait to prom to be fly. If you wasn't fly all before that, and that's the thing about in our high school, we just didn't know what you was gonna look like on prom day. For me, it's like I gotta know you're good looking to know if I'm going to prom because you might not show up. And we got all these pictures now together. It's a bad idea, Stat.
It's a whole different perspective. Like
Yeah, it
never had
wasn't like
thoughts
your
like
day where the mother gets you a Lamborghini and you got the tuxedo to match your socks and all that. Nah, it was like you rent a tuxedo. You rent the tuxedo. You don't even have a tuxedo. I had to rent my tuxedo. That's how poor we was. It's like 90 niggas wore this tuxedo before. And you got to turn it back in. And they give you these patent leather shoes to wear with the tuxedo. I would never do it again. Imagine that, Stat going in the mall, getting a tuxedo, you renting the shoes. They're not your shoes, it's not your tuxedo. Yeah, so I'm thinking about, it's not your shoes, it's not your tuxedo, it's not your shirt. Like you how can you feel confident like that? I felt weird the whole night. Like, who was in this tuxedo before? This is wow. And that day I vowed I'd never wear another tuxedo unless it's my own tuxedo. I can't do that.
Yeah, and the
wow.
thing about it is this, like I said, it's just that era, right? I remember this nigga Duke the God and R.I.P. my man Bloodshed. You know me and him was a group at the time. Mace too, too. We all kind of just Mace had went solo, but me and my man Bloodshed from COC. We was on the group, and I started. I liked it. I started listening to R&B. Now, look, we sit back and think about it today, like, yo, '90s R&B is the best R&B. '90s R&B is the best R&B. I was singing R&B, and they used to be like, look at this nigga Candy Cam. They used to call me Candy Cam. Look at this
Yeah, I
nigga.
remember that.
This
Blood,
nigga's
blood
yeah,
said that.
yeah.
Candy Cam.
Yeah, because I like R&B. I kind of listen to it on the low pause because I'm being teased about liking Jodeci or Cut Close or SWV. I'm Candy Cam, so
Yeah.
that's how bad it was. To where,
Yeah, you couldn't even like that stat. I remember Blood saying that. He was like, yo, he called me, he's like, yo, I had MOP on. Cam comes over there and plays However Do You Want It. It's like, it's like, what?
yeah, these niggas, there's some tough niggas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Niggas only want to listen to Onyx and MOP
Yeah.
and Boot Camp Click. The girls want to listen to Boot Camp Click.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty rough. But to answer your question real quick, Stat, so Mace did mention how we was going they called us for uh, uh reunion.
Hmm.
But where they was having it at was like it
Chinese
was
spot.
yeah, yeah. It was like, yo, it was at a bar in the basement.
Oh, that
And
not. I didn't know it was gonna be there. That's Tom's spot.
yeah, yeah, shout out to Tom. He called
Yeah,
me
shout
about
out
it.
to
Yeah.
Tom. I didn't know it was gonna be Tom's spot. I
It
thought they
was it
was
was
doing it
like
at the Chinese spot.
it was Lighthouse. Shout out to my nigga Mike who owned Lighthouse. It was his
Yeah,
spot, but Tom has the night there. But to put it
yeah.
like this, that the spot we talking about may be smaller than where we film at. Maybe
Wow.
a little smaller. So it's like, yo, what kind of reunion are we really doing? I told
Hey,
them then I told them, look, if you retire my jersey and put it on the wall, I'll show up. Then they agreed to do it, and I was like, nah, that ain't genuine. Forget it. I'm not going anyway. Nah, y'all ain't want to put my shit up off the love. I really told them that, hoping that they say no, but they agreed to it.
that's
And I was
how
like,
that's how you know we think alike. I wanted my number at the half court. I said, when this nigga killer get here, you gonna see 22 at the half court. Oh man. Oh, that's crazy. Niggas say you can't do it, so you know me. I said, okay. If you can, I can. I wanted
Word.
niggas to walk in the gym and say, yo, who is number 22? They say, yo, they put Beth at half court.
I, I don't expect nothing less.
You
Y'all
know
know
this nigga
that.
gonna ask for too much. You know he asking to put him at half court. I
Yeah,
don't care about none of them niggas.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't think about that one. I ain't think about half court.
Oh, crazy.
Oh, it's that. Yeah.
Y'all didn't even give him a chance because like the high school budget is different. So if that's the location, if it would have been a different location, you still would have considered. You still wouldn't have went.